Hi guys, and welcome to another week of videos about The Giver. Today we're going to be recapping what you read last week, which was chapters 10 and 11 of The Giver. I did not make a video last week, so I figured this video is going to be a little bit longer because we'll kind of review what you read last week from that, and then we will preview chapters 12 and 13. So from chapters 10 and 11 that you read last week, Jonas ends up starting his first day of his new assignment that he received at the ceremony of 12. So his new assignment was to become the new receiver of memories, which we learned a little bit about what that is. We know it's a super important job. We know that only one person in the community has it. And we know that it's taken the community a really long time to find somebody suitable for the job, because the last person who received that job failed at it, and it ended up having some pretty serious consequences, which you'll actually learn about this week when you're reading. So he starts his first day and he goes to the receiver of memories house. So this is pretty much the guy that has his job that Jonas will one day kind of take over. Jonas is kind of like his intern or his apprentice right now. And you guys did a nice job in your questions last week of explaining what the receiver's house looks like. So we know that it's very luxurious, it's very beautiful, it's filled with all kinds of books and things that others in the community are not allowed to have and just don't have. Jonas said that he had just never seen that many books or books of that kind. His family has, I think he said, like 3 books. And they're just all about kind of set topics that are useful to them. And other than that, they don't have any kind of extra things, luxurious things like the receiver does. So that's really new to Jonas. And we learned a little bit about his job. So Jonas is a little confused at first, and he's like, why do I have this as a full-time job, just hearing about this old guy's memories? Can't I do something else and hear this guy's memories at the same time, is what Jonas wants to know. But he learns, and we learn in these chapters, that not only is he receiving the old receiver's memories of his life, more importantly, way more importantly, he's receiving all the memories of all time. So going back generations and of the entire world from all different countries, he's receiving all of the memories of the whole entire world. Think like if you could have all the knowledge of the internet, everything on the internet was going to be in your mind. That would be a lot. Or every book in the biggest library you can think of. You're going to have everything of that in your mind. That's basically what Jonas's task is now, which is a lot of pressure, I think, if you ask me. So going along with that, the receiver that Jonas is learning from is saying that he feels very weighed down by everything that he knows and all of the memories that he contains. So that's where Jonas comes in. So this receiver is going to be passing on and transmitting all these memories to Jonas so that he can start getting a little bit lighter and feeling kind of like when you're done with a big test or something, you just have that weight off your shoulders. That's what the receiver wants out of all of this. And as a result, Jonas is going to be kind of taking a lot of that on himself as the new receiver. Now, we're going to be talking about some of the memories that Jonas ends up getting on his first day. And I really like this part of the book. I think it's cool because a lot of the stuff that Jonas the memories that he's having are memories that a lot of us have. I think all of us have memories like the ones we're about to talk about. But they're also new to Jonas, and it reminds me of just things that we take for granted, that it's like, oh yeah, that's just part of our life. But to Jonas, it's so new and cool because he's never experienced a lot of things before. So the first memory is a memory of snow and sled riding. And we learn through this that Jonas's community has gotten rid of a lot of things to, like we talked about, control people, control everything about the society. So they've gotten rid of different climates like snow and extreme heat and things like that, so that they can grow more crops, they can increase their agriculture production. And they've even gotten rid of hills, so people can't go sled riding or anything like that or roll down a hill. They did that to make it easier, to make transportation easier. One other important thing to note is whenever Jonas is receiving the memories, the receiver puts his hands like this on Jonas's back, and it's almost like a ritual that he does to give him these memories. So that's kind of an important thing to note. I know sometimes it's hard to picture, what's happening when you're reading, but whenever Jonas is getting a memory, picture, the receiver's hands on his back, kind of giving him that memory. The second memory that Jonas gets is kind of the opposite of snow. He receives the memory of sunshine. And along with that, although sunshine is a good memory, the receiver also decides that it's important for Jonas to have some bad memories too, or experience some pain, because that's something he's never experienced before. So Jonas ends up getting the memory of sunburn, and he gets to experience that little bit of pain that we've probably all had from having sunburn. And finally, in chapters 10 and 11, we understand why the book is called The Giver. So the old receiver, basically Jonas's teacher, tells Jonas that he should call him the giver. So Jonas will call his teacher the giver because Jonas is receiving the memories of the world, whereas the giver is giving Jonas the memories. So that's a little recap of chapters 10 and 11. A lot happened, so sorry if this video is a little bit long. Now let's talk about what you're going to be reading in chapters 12 and 13. So the first thing that you're going to be reading about is just a lot of talk about Jonas just settling into his new assignment. So him kind of adjusting to his new normal, his new life. And one of the struggles with that we're going to see is it's going to be really hard for Jonas to relate to his family and friends like he was able to before. Because remember, his family and friends are living in a world of sameness, is what they call it in the book. So everything is the same. They don't experience any pain or suffering or anything like that. And their lives are honestly just kind of boring. They do their assignment and they know exactly what's going to happen each day. It's kind of boring. Whereas Jonas's life is a lot more exciting now that he's experiencing all of these things that, we get to experience, like, sunshine, snow, maybe in the same day in Ohio, sunburn, sadness, heartbreak, all those things, good or bad, that kind of make life exciting in a way. Now, kind of another thing that we're going to be reading about in 12 and 13 is Jonas is going to be receiving another painful memory from a different country and from the past. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because I obviously want you to read the chapters, but just kind of be on the lookout for that other painful memory that he's going to get. And finally, the last thing that I want to preview for you guys from 12 and 13 is, with all of this happening and Jonas's new job, he's starting to question a lot of the things that he's always thought were normal. So he's questioning what makes a perfect world. And he's realizing that a lot of stuff in his world, in his society, has had to be sacrificed to make what they think is kind of this perfect world. Okay? But he's kind of wondering, is it a good idea to let people choose who they marry? Is it a good idea to let people choose their job? Because even though it seems like a good idea to Jonas, that's not something that he's ever experienced. His society doesn't let people do that. And he kind of worries, what if people make the wrong choice? What if people get hurt? What if people are sad? So he's just starting to question a lot of things that are going on in his world, that now that he's getting all these new memories, he's wondering, is this really the best way? And we'll keep building on that as we keep reading too. So I think that's it. I'm not going to talk for too long. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a wonderful day. And definitely let me know if you have any questions, either on Remind or email, or even message me just on Classroom on the assignment. You can comment on there and it pops up in my email. So definitely reach out if you need some help, and I will be seeing you guys next week. Bye.